totally out of control and like now your eyebrows are the size of like trucks. Hey there, I'm Olivia. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I wanted to show you some of the things that I brought with me on a recent weekend trip. So my husband's family has a catering business, and so besides doing things like weddings and other events, they also will go to different festivals and have a food booth there. And so this last weekend, we were in this town, Astoria, for the Scandinavian festival. It was super fun. We always love going to work with them, but our days always start really early, and we typically have pretty long days, and you're running around and it's hard work. And so I just thought it might be helpful to show the makeup that I decided to bring with me, partly because it's things that I think are really good for people that have to be up early and that want to have a really quick and easy makeup look, but also things that are going to be more long wearing and can definitely last throughout the day. So let's get started. I'll be honest, I did not bring a primer with me on this trip, partially because I forgot, and partially because honestly, when I'm in a hurry, it's just not that important to me. I would definitely rather take time for an actual moisturizer than to take time for a primer. So I didn't bring one of those. I did bring two different foundations with me, and the reason that I have two is really just to make sure that I got a good color match. I definitely don't think two, just for the sake of having two, is necessary. But the ones that I brought with me are the Ulta Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. I have this one in the shade Light Cool. It actually comes off a lot more yellow though than you would expect for it being called a cool foundation. And so for that reason, I brought this one with me. This one I've gotten at TJ Maxx. The brand is Crop. But what I like about this one is that it's a very, very neutral tone, almost verging on gray, and so if I mix the two together, it's a good color patch. But anyway, the reason that I like these ones is because it's a tinted moisturizer. It does have, honestly, really good coverage, more than I would expect from the name. Tinted, that's understating it quite a bit. But I also feel like because it doesn't set down and become a very like locked on, you know, gonna need a power washer to get it off your face kind of a product, it actually works pretty well for me for a long day because I feel like it's a more flexible formula, if that makes sense. It's a lighter coverage, so if it does wear in any places, I feel like it kind of blends more seamlessly into the rest of my face as opposed to a super, you know, high coverage, locked on kind of foundation where if any of it rubs off, like you can tell for sure. So that's why I brought these ones, and I really like them. They're super comfortable, they blend easily, we're good to go. And I brought one face powder with me. This one is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. I brought this one because the other powder that I've been using, the Milani one that's in my project pan, it was really, really close to being done, and I just didn't want to run out while we were there just in case. So this one is just a translucent powder. I think the fact that it is a waterproof powder does help it to last a little bit longer, and especially if you know, you're working hard and you're sweating or whatever, this can actually be a really good option. And I brought this powder brush with me. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Brush, so that worked really well. I didn't have to bring like a separate under eye powder because honestly, I just didn't have time and I didn't care that much. Going back to foundation real quick, the one that I brought with me is this Real Techniques. It's this like mini travel size foundation brush. I absolutely love this thing. I got it at TJ Maxx on clearance, I'm pretty sure. And I just love it, not even just for travel, but all the time. This is my go-to. But I do like for travel that it's so small. As far as blush goes, I decided to bring my Flower Beauty blush balm, and this is in the shade Cinnamon. I absolutely love this product. If you've never tried a cream blush before, I would highly, highly recommend this, and particularly this shade. If you're like me and have light to maybe medium skin tone, and you're a little bit more on the warm to neutral side, in particular, I feel like this is really good. Because the color is kind of a brownish pink, I didn't feel the need to bring a separate bronzer. I just had this, blended it up for my cheeks up a little bit, like where I normally put bronzer, and it was very natural. It blended so fast, it's kind of ridiculous, and I felt like it lasted well throughout the day. It didn't wear off, and I love this product. It's really, really good. I brought one concealer with me. This one is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Light Neutral. This one is definitely a high coverage product, and it is more so on the side of like not budging. So that did make me a little bit nervous, but I just used it sparingly. Just a few dots underneath my eyes to help any kind of to get rid of any dark spots, and then I did just a bit of like spot concealing, and this worked well for that. So for my brows, I chose the e.l.f. brow pencil. This one is in the shade, I think think it's neutral brown. I am so blind. It's either neutral or natural. Anyway, I really like this brow pencil. The one that I've been using at home a lot has been the Billion Dollar Brows. I'd gotten it from a friend of mine, but that one is definitely not my favorite formula. It's very soft and creamy, and for that reason, it's kind of hard to work with. So for traveling, when I want to be quick, this one is a lot better. It's a lot more stiff, I would say. It makes it a little bit easier to fill in your brows quickly without it getting like totally out of control and like now your eyebrows are the size of like trucks. So this one is awesome. So I had a little sample of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is in the shade Opal. And this is a really pretty highlight. Honestly, I didn't necessarily plan on wearing highlight if I was in a big hurry, but the thing I love about this is it does actually have a little mirror in it. And so I totally spaced on bringing another product with a mirror, so I was super happy to have this with me. And I ended up using this on my eyes as well. So speaking of eyes, I'm gonna show you what all, oh, and then, I'm sorry, let me jump back real quick. For the blush, I brought my Wet n Wild stippling brush. This one makes it super easy to just blend in, boop, 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 real fast. I really, really like this type of brush. So I brought, honestly, just a few things for eyes. I brought my Ulta Beauty Tinted Eye Primer. This one is in the shade Peach Glow. I figured if I was really in a hurry, because we had to be up at like 4 in the morning, so if I just did not feel like taking any time, I figured I could just put this on and it would add a little bit of something, but take like 0 time to blend in. So I really enjoyed having this. I did end up having a bit of time though in the car when we were actually driving to the festival to do a little bit more. So I had this little duo from e.l.f. This one has a really nice like mid-tone neutral brown in it, as well as a really pretty kind of white gold. And this is one of my go-tos when I'm doing a really fast look. I like having kind of a mid-tone, more neutral brown in the crease and then a gold on the lid. This one is just perfect for it. It blends super easy. I love that it's just got my 2 go-tos right there, so couldn't be simpler. So as another option, I had brought my Maybelline Color Tattoo in, what is this shade? In Bad to the Bronze. This one is a really nice product, again, for something that's just super quick and easy to blend out. You could use your fingers if you wanted to, or a brush. Personally, what I like to do is put it on with my finger first to get it mostly where I want it, and then just use a brush on the edges to make sure that it's blended out. But this one, it's a very easy to use product. You can definitely put it on a little bit more sparingly for just kind of a light wash, or you can build it up in the corner if you wanted it to be a little bit darker, but it's pretty foolproof and it lasts forever. And then I did want to bring an eyeliner. Again, I wasn't sure if I would have time, but just in case I wanted to. This one is the Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner. This one is in the shade Hooked on Espresso. I really love brown eyeliner, but especially for days that I'm in kind of a hurry and I don't want to do as much work. I feel like brown, since it's just a little bit more subtle, just a little bit easier to kind of smudge and blend in if you're in a hurry. This one was a really good choice and I enjoyed it a lot. So the brush that I brought, this one is just kind of a random one. I had gotten in an Ipsy bag. The brand is Elizabeth Mott, but it's just a kind of a fluffy blending brush here. I used this all 3 days since the colors were all very similar. I didn't have an issue with needing to like actually wash my brush, so that was good. I had also brought the Benefit Gimme Brow. This one was in my Ipsy bag, and so I've been trying to make a point of testing it out this month. Honestly, I don't really get the hype of this product so far. I'll definitely keep using it and I might change my mind, but it was fine. It kept my brows in place, but not like anything super special, I didn't think. I could have used a regular brow gel, or honestly, I could skip it altogether. To me, it's not an essential product, but the color is good, so. And then I brought 2 lip products. So one of them is the Glossier Balm.com. This one is in my Project Pan, and so this one I like putting on both at morning and night just to make sure that I don't have any chapped lips. And I brought 1 gloss. This one is the Pixie Gloss in Sheer Rose. This one I'm also testing out this month. I've gotten it in my Ipsy bag. I love the tone of this, that it's kind of a more neutral to cool pink. I really enjoyed this, and because it's just kind of a light wash, I didn't feel like I needed to worry about reapplying it throughout the day. When it wore off, no big deal. I could put it on later if I wanted to, but if not, if I was busy working, no big deal. So that was all the makeup that I brought with me. So I thought it would just be kind of fun to show you what I brought and why I chose the things that I did. So I hope you found it helpful and enjoyable, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye.